This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, the reason why you are not getting this particular option is because this option will only come when you create multiple retained earning accounts. Okay, in the
Okay.
configuration, if you remember, I told you to only create X. If you are only creating one, there is no need to tell to the system that it is X because there is only one, and you don't need to tell whether it is X or Y. There is only one retained earning account. Okay, but if you are creating multiple retained earning accounts from here within financial accounting, general ledger accounting, master data, GL accounts, preparation, and this one, defined retained earning accounts. So here, if you are creating multiple, you can see here X and Y, there are two profit and loss retained earning accounts that you have created, right? And that is the reason system is asking you whether you want to post the retained earning balances to X or to Y. Okay, but if you are only creating one in your configuration, if there is only one X, then there is no question, system will automatically post everything to this account, right? So Chandrika, the reason why you are not getting is maybe you only created one account here.
Yeah, yes, yes, Vikram.
Okay, there is no wrong. It is not necessary to create multiple. I just gave you the I just gave you the scenario in which customer may ask that I have the multiple retained earning accounts, but normally most of the companies have one retained earning account. So, which means if they just provide X here, then there is no need to specify this PL account type, profit and loss statement account type.
Okay, Vikram. Okay.
Clear on this now?
Yes, Vikram. Thank you.
Okay.
And I'm not able to see all the fields, Vikram. If you go to control data, create bank interest, these tabs.
Okay, let me see first to your company code. What is your company code?
Mine is LENI.
Just 1 minute. You are creating in which client? Is it
800.
400? Okay, this is 400. Let me log off from here first. So now everybody is practicing on 800, right? Okay. Everybody on the call, they are using 800, right?
Yes.
Okay. Same now. Sorry. Okay, let me log in with my ID. Okay, so if I go to creation of GL account, yes, which is your company code?
LENI.
LENI. Have you created any GL accounts till now?
Yes, Vikram.
Okay, what is the number?
Numbers are it is 2000, 3000, like that.
So
Okay,
if I
one
go for
particular.
LENI.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's take for example, if I go to this refreshment expenses, okay, and click on display. Yeah, so control data, create
This
bank
alternate
interest.
account number it is asking in control data.
Okay, it is asking, and other fields are disabled, right?
Yeah, other fields are disabled.
Okay, create bank interest. Company code LENI. Okay, let me see one thing. OBD4. This is a, what is your chart of account?
Same as company.
Okay, so you created this many number of account groups, and
Yeah.
currently we are talking about account group, this one, right? Expenses.
Yeah.
If I double click on this, and if you go here and see which fields are mandatory, which see from the account group, also you can control which fields should be available.
Okay.
So, for example, if I go to Bank, yeah, see, you can see all the fields are suppressed here. Have you done this?
No, I did not. It was there by default.
You copied or you created from scratch? This
No.
groups you
Yeah,
created?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yes, LANI I created. Yes, from the
No,
scratch.
but you created by copying it or
No,
scratch?
no, no. Scratch.
Scratch, then this should not have been suppressed. But anyways, maybe in this system, the default settings are suppressed. So what you can do is you can tick on this optional.
Okay.
Okay, when you say optional, then this fields will be available at the time of GL creation. Okay, so if
Okay.
you remember, we discussed account group. Account group has two purposes. One is to manage the number ranges, right? Number ranges are totally dependent upon this account groups. And second thing, which is controlled by the account groups, is the field status. Okay, just give me a minute. Yes, so account group controls two things. Number one is what numbers would be assigned to your GL accounts, and number two is the field status. Okay, so now again, if I double click on this, and these are the different tabs that you are getting in the GL master, right? So this is a bank interest tab, this is a control data tab. So currently what is happening in bank interest, only this field status group field is appearing. Why? Because other fields are suppressed. Suppressed means hidden. Okay, so now if I change this, come out, and next time when I'll try to go to FS00, okay, in create bank interest tab, let me first click on display. This is GL account, type description. This should come actually.
It is already created, right? Try to create new one.
No, even in change mode, it should be available. Let's see.
Okay.
So OBD4. For our chart of account, it is LENI and expenses. Yeah, it is still not changed, I think. So field status, we will change it to optional. Okay, so for expense group, we are making all these fields as optional.
Okay.
Okay, and now if you go to FS00, click on display, see. So all the fields you can control from the field status. Okay, field status is what? Field status tells you what would be the status of this field, whether it will be hidden or it would be. There are four statuses. Just remember this four statuses. This is also very important question in exam. What are the four status of the fields? Number one is suppress. Suppress means it will be hidden. It will not be shown at the time of transaction at all. Okay, so number one is hidden, you can say, or suppressed. Number two is optional. Optional means it is up to you whether you want to make the entry or not. If you keep it blank, totally fine. Third one is required, which is mandatory. So if you don't enter this, system will not allow you to create a GL account. Okay, and the last one is display only. Last one is display only. Okay, what do you mean by display? See, currently, if I go to the change mode, there are some fields. Let me see if no, there is no field called as display here. Every field is ready for the entry. So I can enter the planning level, I can enter the house bank, I can enter the account ID. But if I just go to this GL account group and if I change this to display house bank, if I want to display, I don't want to allow to change, it will only display whatever value is available. Okay, so let's save it. If it is already saved, then okay, and you go to GL account once again. Just see the status of this, just concentrate on these two fields. If I refresh this, Okay, again, if I go to change mode, you can see the status is displayed. It is not allowing to change. Okay, this is just for the reporting purpose. If somebody wants to see what is the values available here, he can go and he will be able to see what is the status available. He will not be able to change anything. This is called as display. So there are 4 statuses. Also, there is another question which comes in the exam. What is the sequence? What is the priority of this field status? So later on, I will show you with example. But as of now, just remember, if you are getting the question on the priority of the field status, it is HDRO. Just remember this code, HDRO. The first priority is given to hidden. Second priority is given to display. Third priority is given to required. And fourth priority is given to optional. HDRO, just remember this. This is also a very important question asked many times in the exam. What is the sequence or what is the priority of the field status? It is always HDRO. Okay. Optional has lowest priority and hidden has first priority, highest priority. Clear on this now?
Yes, Vikram.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any other
And when I'm
questions?
creating balance sheet accounts, it is just giving message like local currency should be in INR.
When
Pop-up
you are
message.
creating, okay, so you are changing this at the time of creation of GL account, you might be changing the currency to something else, right?
No, I did not do anything.
Okay, let's try. So if I want to create a new GL account, again, I'll go to transaction FS00. Okay, so let's say you already created how many GL accounts? 3005. Okay, I can create 3006, right? The next one. Enter. No, it is also created. 3007. Yes. So let's create this. GL account type, you are saying balance sheet. Account group, I will select as, sorry, you are saying balance sheet. So I should not take this. I should not take
Yeah.
3007. Balance sheet, what is the numbering that you provided? So let's say this Axis Bank. So 10012, I can create 3, right?
Mm.
So 1003, not created. Let's create it. This is the create button. Okay, so balance sheet account. Account group, I will select as cash and bank. It is taking time. Yeah. So short text, let's say this is another bank. If I go to control data, see by default, it is taking INR. Why it is taking INR by default? Maybe you are trying to change it and that is the reason it is throwing error. You might be changing it to USD, right?
No, Vikram, I'm not trying to change.
So it is already INR. What error you are getting here?
Yeah, when you save that one, it is asking, it is giving pop-up message. It should be in local currency.
Okay, let's see. So all these fields I'm not entering anything. Let's go to create bank interest tab. And here I will enter, let's say bank accounts. Okay, and try to save. Okay, you are talking about this one. This is a warning message. No
Yeah,
need to worry about messages.
yeah.
No need to worry about yellow messages, green messages. Only you need to worry about red messages.
Mhm. Okay,
Okay, this is just giving you the warning that your balance sheet account should be in local currency. But I think it is already your local currency, right? You created
yeah,
a company code with INR itself.
yeah. That is my question. It is already in INR. Why it is showing again? That
It is just a warning. It will even show if you maintain everything correctly also. So that is a
oh,
general pop. It is just reminding you that you are not changed this.
okay,
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 maybe
Vikram. Thank you.
let's do it once again and try to go in the detail of that warning message. So new, have you already saved? Yes. Okay, we already saved. So let's go for 4. Type description. My voice is clear. I'm speaking a little bit low today, but is it audible or you want me to be
Yes, Vikram. It is clear.
okay? So bank control data. I will go to this is fine INR and here I will specify G005, which is for bank accounts. And if I try to save, I'm getting this warning message. Click on the question mark and see what is wrong. So for normal balance sheet accounts, account that record neither item in foreign currency nor SAP recommends that you should record the account transactions in local currency. Okay, it is not related to INR or USD. It is saying you should select only balances in local currency. It is not telling you that your currency is wrong. It is informing you about this particular thing. Balances in local currency should be ticked. Okay, so there is nothing wrong with this INR. The problem is system is reminding you that you should tick balances in local currency only this account. Normally we tick these balances in local currency for clearing accounts. Okay, clearing account means what? You know GRIR account, gold receipt, invoice receipt. Maybe we will discuss those topics later on. But clearing accounts means they are temporary accounts. So at the time of one transaction, they will be debited. At the time of second transaction, they will be credited. Ultimately, the balance should be zero. So for those accounts, this balance in local currency only should be ticked. Okay, but for banks and all, no need to worry. We can skip this. Okay, so in short, don't worry about the warning messages. Okay, only if you are getting the red message, then only you need to worry. System will give you a lot of warning messages. It is just giving you the hint that maybe this field is important to you. But if you think that no, I already maintained it correctly, no need to worry.
Okay, Vikram. Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions?
Controlling area. Controlling area.
Okay. So another question is in controlling area. What is your controlling area? Sorry, this is 400. But anyways, let me show you. So if I double click on this controlling area, so your question is that this is Pratibha's question. She is asking that she has selected this as cross company code controlling, right? Which means one controlling area can be assigned to multiple company codes. Okay, just 1 minute. Let me understand her question. Yeah.
My question is, you said that our controlling area is same as company code, so chart of account and fiscal
Yes.
variant should be same.
Right.
So my company code is SICI.
Okay.
And my chart of account is SI01.
Okay.
So, what is my controlling area code? Is SI or SI01?
No, I'm not getting you again. So your controlling area is
SICI.
okay.
And my chart of account is SI01.
Okay.
So but
No. Okay, I got your question. No need to worry about code. What I told you is whatever chart of account and fiscal year variant you are assigning to your controlling area, the same chart of account and same fiscal year variant should be assigned to that company codes also. I'm not saying these two codes should be same. See, here it is different. The chart of account is INT and my controlling area is 0001. So I'm not saying this two should be same. I told you that this chart of account and fiscal year variant, whatever you assigned here, make sure that same chart of account, same fiscal year variant is also assigned to the company codes which are assigned to this controlling area. Clear now? Okay. So, any other questions before I come to the Shrikant's question? How many of you attempted to post the documents? I think you are stuck at the GL itself, right? Nobody was able to post the document till now. I think Shrikant has tried. That is the reason he came up with that error. No one? Okay. So when you try to post the document, okay, there are two errors which I need to talk about. Definitely you will get these two errors. Number one is what Shrikant is saying. There is something called as item category. Okay, what error you are getting, Shrikant? Can you just tell me once again?
Yeah, the error shows me that there is no item category assigned to the account.
Right. There is no item category assigned to the account, which means in SAP, whenever you try to post any accounting document, you are providing two GL accounts, at least two. one debit, one credit, right? There is a functionality in SAP called as document splitting. Okay, it will be too early if I introduce that topic now. We will talk about that topic later on. But just remember, document splitting is very important functionality. And if you are using that functionality, by default that is active. If you are using that functionality, each and every GL account that you have created needs to be assigned to the item category. Okay, what is item category? No need to worry as of now. We will talk about document splitting. There will be one complete session on document splitting, but it will be too early. If I explain you now, it will be too early for you. Okay, so what is that configuration that you have to do? So you have to go to financial accounting. Again, within financial accounting, you have to go to the general ledger accounting, business transactions. Okay, here you have document splitting functionality. Go to document splitting and classify the GL accounts for document splitting. Okay, in my PPTs, this is already there. So if you are following my PPTs, then definitely you will not come across this error if you configure this properly. Okay, so classify the GL accounts for document splitting. What you need to do here is, this is a place where you have to tell the system that this GL account is assigned to which item category. So chart of accounts, whatever chart of accounts you are using, press enter. See, there is nothing maintained here. That is the reason you will be getting error at the time of transactions. So what you need to do is click on new entry. Whatever are your accounts, okay, in company code LENI, for example, these accounts we need to bifurcate. So you can see, maybe if I sort this, so starting from 1001, 2, 3, 4, these are the 5 GL accounts. Okay, so starting from 1000 to 1004, these are which type of GL accounts? You will be able to select the category here. So these are nothing but bank accounts, cash accounts. Okay, so you have to logically group these accounts here. You have to assign the item category here. Okay, similarly, if I again do F4 and I select the other set of GL accounts, so let's say this time I will go for the expenses. So expenses are starting from 3000. So 3000 to, I think, if you want to avoid in future also, then you can enter 3999, because if you are already sure that whatever future GL accounts I am going to create for expenses, they are going to start from 3 only, then you can specify this number range here itself and you can say these are expense GL accounts. Okay, so you have to logically group all these GL accounts for the document splitting purpose. Okay, so Shrikant, once you complete this activity, you will no longer get that error related to the document splitting functionality.
Okay,
Clear
Vikram,
on?
thank you. So let me try it.
Yes, we tried. Okay,
Vikram,
any other
how we
question?
will know that account should be in this category? You said we can assign logically, right?
Yeah, it is logical. See, whatever GL accounts that you have, which are coming under, let's say, expenses, you will group in this one. Whatever GL accounts are under revenues, you will group in this one. Whatever GL accounts we will create later on for fixed assets, we will group in this fixed assets. Whatever GL accounts we will create for materials management, like stock account, GRR account, that we will group under material. If you are using withholding tax, then you will group those GL accounts in the withholding tax category. For other taxes, you will use this. So all are logical. Whenever you are creating any accounts payable, sundry creditors accounts, we will group them in vendor.
If we assign wrong category, what will happen?
If you assign wrong category, that will not affect your normal accounting entry. It will only affect document splitting functionality. This is only because of the document splitting functionality. Okay, so your normal postings, your accounting reports will not show you wrong results. Okay, but document splitting is another functionality which is related to profit center wise reporting, cost center wise reporting, and all. Okay, so it will automatically split the line items into multiple parts, but you don't need to worry as of now. As of now, just remember we need to assign it properly. See, anywhere in the system, if you assign it wrongly, definitely there will be some reporting problem. Okay, so for example, if I assign it wrongly, then my bank balances under the profit center will not appear properly. My bank balances, overall bank balances will definitely show me correct results. But if I see the profit center wise, which is my controlling related reports, in that case, it may not show the correct results. So any configuration, if you do wrongly, definitely there will be some minor or major impact. But this is document splitting. This will not have a major impact. This can have the minor impact if you assign it.
I have same question for the controlling also, Vikram. For the
Mhm.
cost center, we should assign some category, right? Cost center category.
Yes, again. So whenever you are creating a cost center, at that time system asks you the category. So even that category has no relevance in any of the document postings. Okay, so that particular topic again, maybe we need to go slow because cost center related topic, the planning, the actual reports we are going to see later on. In that one, I'll tell you what will happen if you select the wrong category.
Okay.
Okay, but as of now, see what we are doing is we are creating the admin category. We are creating, then definitely that will not create a problem. Only thing is in advanced CO, when you go for COPA, product costing, so there are production related activities. So for that, you need to select the category properly. But otherwise, it will not make any difference if you are selecting the wrong category. Okay, for basic cost center, profit center accounting, you don't need to worry about. Okay, any other questions?
Hi Vikram, this is Abhishek here.
So Vikram, can we change this document split in case if you found there is a wrong automated category?
Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. If you do it wrongly, you can always come on this configuration and you can modify it. This can be modified anytime. So let's say you done it wrongly and you realize this is wrong, you can come here and you can modify.
So even it can be done after multiple postings also.
After multiple postings you will do, but the thing is, whatever postings are already done, that will not get changed.
Okay.
Okay, so
Okay.
if you already made
Got
the
it.
postings with the settings, they will remain as it is. Only the new postings will take the new category.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, any other question?
Hi Vikram, this is Abhishek here.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes, Abhishek.
Yeah, I just want to know what is that KO01, it's an internal order, but when I'm trying to maintain that, so I just want to know a small gist, why do we need that internal order? Can you please tell me?
No, no, Abhishek, it is too early. We have not introduced internal order till now. We'll talk about that separately. As
Okay,
of now,
but in that assignment, you have got one order management that we have to create.
no, we activated that order management, but we have still not seen how to create the internal order center. We will talk about that later. So,
Okay, okay.
you ask the questions of those topics which we already covered. Because till now I have not explained you the internal order, then definitely we cannot go to the error directly. We have to understand
Okay,
what is
fine.
internal order. It's a separate session on that.
Yeah, yeah, okay, okay, fine.
Vikram, can I interject? Vikram, can I ask a question?
Yes, yes,
Can
please
you
go ahead.
hear me? Okay, just going back to your chart of accounts categorization. Like the
Mhm.
chart of accounts that you are referring to, it has fixed assets as only one. So fixed assets, like, when we are doing a chart of accounts, basically every GL account would somehow be classified into either of the four: expense, income, liability, or asset. Now, if you have
Mhm.
an asset in the fixed assets, are you like the categorization? Is it's something to do with the classification of fixed assets? Let's say plant and machinery, vehicle, office equipment, furniture, patent, blah blah blah, something
You
like
you are
that.
talking about, you are talking about this categorization, right? Document splitting categorization.
Yes, I'm not thinking about document splitting, like what you did. I didn't follow the document splitting, and you said you're going to teach that later. But as I understood, I'm just trying
Mhm.
to reiterate what you did
Mhm.
and trying to understand. Yeah, in lately chart of accounts, Remember, you put in the categorization, whatever, you put it into fixed assets, right? Like Srikant's problem, like why he couldn't do
Right.
it.
Let me explain you. See, you said normally you categorize your GL accounts into 4 parts. You said expense,
Yeah.
revenue,
Yeah, anything. It has to be
asset.
either of the four.
Yes, either of the four. But here, if you see these categorizations, what are available here, these categorizations are more in detail. Okay, it is not only about asset and liability. If it is
Yeah, that's
asset,
what I'm
it can,
saying.
yes.
So like, let's say fixed assets. Now you're
Mhm.
defining that, okay, that is like relates to fixed assets, right?
Right.
Now if we look at it in a grid, yeah, select it. If we
Okay.
select it, okay, okay, what does it say? So it's saying like whatever accounts from X to Y range is categorized under fixed assets,
Right.
correct? So now how does that relate to the chart of accounts? Eh, accounts, um, like is it a sub account of that account there, like
No,
a
no, this
parent
is
child kind of relationship,
no, 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 no. Okay, let me explain
pup
you.
or
See,
whatever?
what are the different types of fixed assets account that you will be creating later on when we will
There can
understand
be
the fixed assets?
numerous. There
There
can be
can be
hundreds
numerous.
and hundreds of fixed asset accounts.
It would be furniture, it would be plant and machinery, it would be buildings, right? So these are the examples. So you are going to create the GL account for each of this type of asset, right? So you'll be having a separate GL account for furnitures, a separate GL account for plant and machinery, a separate GL account for building. So all of
Correct.
this GL account, they will be categorized here. You have to specify the range if it is in range. If it is not in range, you can also specify one account at a time. So you can say all the GL accounts starting from this to this are my fixed assets. So
I
which
think
includes your furniture, which includes your plant and machinery, everything will fall under this category.
so, but the fixed assets, when we have denoted fixed assets, is it like a control account, and plant, machinery, and all those are sub
No, no,
accounts? They roll up to the fixed assets?
no, no,
Is
no.
it
It
some?
is, see, document splitting is not rolling up. We are creating a separate. I got your point. Sub account means sub ledgers in SAP. Okay,
Yeah, something
sub.
like that.
Yes. So sub ledgers. These are not sub ledgers. Sub ledgers are the GL accounts which are created one level below the main GL account. Right. So for example, if I'm creating the ledger itself, FS00, then this is not a sub ledger account. If I create any fixed asset account here, that would be my main account. Okay, but categorization is I am categorizing that particular multiple GL accounts into one group. But I am not doing the reporting at the group level. I am doing the reporting at each and every GL account level. Okay, but I got your point. Maybe Nafis, at this point of time, we don't have anything on fixed assets. That is the reason we are getting this
Okay, you
question.
know
Maybe
what? I
when we
think we are getting sidetracked. Please move on.
yes, yes, yes. So AP and AR, when we start AP and AR and fixed assets, you will understand we need multiple GL accounts and how they need to be categorized into a particular category.
Sure. Sorry, please move ahead.
Sure, sure, no problem. Okay, so what I request you, I can still see there are many guys who have still not completed the activities, maybe because you are getting some errors or something like that. But
So Vikram,
please,
for me
yes,
and Ashraf. Sorry, Vikram, I interjected. I just got I don't even have access to SAP.
you still not got the access.
No, and we
Uh,
were sitting like for half an hour, and we didn't have access to the class even. We were waiting,
uh,
and it was saying the session will start when you're in, and then we had to call Krishna, and I
yeah,
sent the link to Ashraf.
yeah, I need to check with Krishna. Just give me some. Maybe after the session, I will call him and we will have
Yeah,
the
just
phone
letting you
call.
know. No complaints, just letting you know.
Sure,
So
sure, sure.
we
No.
are behind. Both of us are behind.
Okay, okay. No problem. So my request would be if you get the server access today, please try to complete whatever activities we have done as soon as possible so that you can come up with the questions.
Yeah, you
Okay.
guys are like
So
rocket scientists by now.
Okay, so now let's start a new topic for the new day. Okay, so I'm not saying our general ledger accounting is completed. There are a lot of topics which we need to understand in general ledger accounting. Okay, but as I told you, if I start it now, it would be like too much at the initial phase. So we need to understand the topics like the ledger concept. We need to understand the topics like document splitting. We need to understand the topics like periodic activities that you carry out. Okay, there are a lot of topics which we are going to talk about in general ledger accounting. But before that, I will start with the easiest topics, okay, so that for another 1 or 2 weeks, you are getting used to the system, and then we will introduce some advanced topics. Okay, so what I'll do today is we will start with basic accounts payables and accounts receivables. Okay, so I'm not going to tell you separately accounts payables and accounts receivables. What we will do is parallelly we will do both. Okay, because normally what happens is if I tell you accounts payables and normally I give accounts receivable to you so that you can carry out on your own. Okay, but what I'll do this time is I will do both the things at the same time. So whenever I'm creating the, let's say, vendor invoice, at the same time I will show you how to create a customer invoice. When I'm creating the vendor payment, at the same time I will show you how to create the customer payment, so that we are going parallel on AP and AR, because most of the topics are exactly same in AP and AR except 1 or 2 topics like automatic payment program and dunning. All other concepts in AP and AR are same. So can you tell me what do you mean by accounts payables, and then what do you think is accounts receivables? What is the difference?
Payables means vendor, receivables means customer.
Okay, payables means all the transactions carried out with vendor,
Yeah.
right? What transactions
Yes.
you carry? You make the purchases, you get the bills from the vendors, you finally make the payment. Sometimes you make the down payment, sometimes you need to cancel the invoice, sometimes you need to uh, like you need to carry out the reporting for the vendors. So all these things, whatever activities you carry out for a particular vendor, not for a particular vendor, for all the vendors in your company, that is accounts payables. Okay, similarly, when it comes to receivables, the only difference is again all the transactions carried out, but this time with customers. Okay, so whatever bills you create for customers, whatever payments you receive from the customers, sometimes you also receive the advance payments from the customers. So all these functionalities are part of accounts receivables. So what do I need in order to perform the AP? The first thing which I need in the system in order to post any invoice, in order to post any payment, what do I need? Bank is secondary. If I just want to create an invoice, the first thing that I'll need is vendor, right? If I don't have the vendor, then forget about AP. If I don't have the customer, then forget about receivables, right?
Yeah.
Which means the basic thing that we need to understand is vendor master and
Yes.
customer. Okay, so if you want to perform AP and AR, the basic thing is that you need a vendor master and you need a customer master. Okay, now again within the vendor masters, if you have seen the companies, they divide the vendors into multiple parts, multiple groups. Okay, just for example sake, let's say domestic vendors. Okay, in a company, okay, vendor is also called as supplier, so don't get confused. This is one and the same thing. Vendor means supplier. So irrespective of whether you call it as a vendor or supplier, it is the same thing. So domestic vendors, if I want to bifurcate my vendors into multiple categories, then it is domestic vendors. Then you have foreign vendors, and you can also have internal group company vendors. Okay, this is just for example. I'm not saying these are the only uh, categorizations available. You will find in companies there are multiple categorizations based on which they divide the vendors. Okay, even in some of the companies, in order to work with the employees, they create employee also as a vendor. Okay, so whenever a employee is asking for any advances, salary advances and all, so they normally create it as a vendor and they make the payment, right? So employee is also one of the category which can be created as a vendor. And there is one more called as one-time vendor. One-time vendor means, so if the vendor is regular vendor, if a supplier is regular, we are purchasing the material on day-to-day basis, then we will create a proper master for him with his code, with his name, everything would be specific to that particular vendor. But on the other hand, there are some vendors which are not regular vendors. They are just like we purchase one material and that transaction is the only transaction that we are going to do that with that particular vendor. So in that case, we can create one-time vendor. This one-time vendor will be used for multiple suppliers. Only at the time of transactions, we will enter the name manually that this transaction happened with which particular vendor. Okay. Now, don't worry. As of now, I'm just giving you the overview. So when we create the one-time vendor, when we do the transactions, we will get a complete idea. So at the overview level, this much groups are sufficient. Okay. Same way, in customers also, you will create the same groupings. Okay. So you will create a domestic customers, you will create a foreign customers. Okay, again you can have a group customers, group company relevant customers, and you have one-time customers. Normally we don't create the employee as a customer. Employee is normally created as a vendor, but possible. If you want employee to be created as a customer, that is also fine. Okay, so these are the different groupings. These are called as account groups in SAP. Vendor account groups, similar to GL accounts. What we have done earlier, we have created multiple GL accounts, right? All those GL accounts we grouped. Okay, so in this particular case, when we go to the GL account, so when we created the GL accounts, we provided these groups, whether this is an asset account or is it a cash and bank or is it expense or it is a fixed asset. Similarly, whenever you are going to create a customer, you have to specify this customer is a domestic customer or it is a foreign customer or is it a group company customer or it is a one-time customer, right? So before you create any customer, you have to provide under which group this customer will be created. Okay, so where exactly you need to enter this group? So whenever you create a customer, now what is the transaction code to create a customer? I'm not talking about S4HANA. Anyone who has worked on SAP ECC or any SAP system, what is the transaction code to create a customer?
FP01, FD01.
FD01, right? This is a financial transaction to create a customer. If you want to create a customer for finance as well as sales, then there is a transaction XD01. Okay, so maybe I'll take FD01 itself. So FD01, this was a transaction that we were using in SAP ECC to create a customer. If I enter FD01, okay, don't worry about this box and this as of now. I just want to show you, whenever you are creating a customer, system is asking you the customer number. It is asking you in which company code you want to create this customer, and it is asking you account group. So let's focus on this account group as of now. What is happening? You cannot create a customer. Is it possible that, okay, I'm creating a customer, but I don't want the group? It is not possible. Even in GL account, when we created a GL account, can we tell the system that, okay, we are creating this GL account, but we don't want to provide this account? This is mandatory, right? Account groups are mandatory. Whether it is GL, it is customer, it is vendor, account groups are always mandatory. So whenever you are creating a customer, you have to specify the account group here. Without account group, system will not allow you to create a customer. Okay, so the question is, what are the different account groups available? Okay, how can I create a customer by providing the account groups? So this account groups, based on what is your criteria, based on what are the different groupings that you need, you have to set up from configuration. So you can go to SPRO, IMG. Again, we are under financial accounting, and now we are talking about what? Are we talking about general ledger accounting?
No.
We're talking about AP and AR, right? Accounts receivables and accounts payables. So under AP and AR, there is a separate folder for customer accounts and there is a separate folder for vendor accounts. So let's talk about customer first. If I go to customer accounts, master data, preparation for creating customer master data. We are preparing the system to create a customer master data. If you open this, then the first screen itself is define the account groups with screen layout. You will understand what is screen layout. So define the account groups with screen layout. So let's open this, and these are the groups which are already available in the system. Okay, by default, there are some account groups which are pre-delivered by SAP. In addition to this, if you want to create your own, you can always create your own. Okay, so when you are also working on your project, if you go to this screen, you'll be able to see that there are a lot of account groups which are already provided by SAP. But if you think that no, these are not sufficient, I want to create my own, you can go and you can create your own. Okay, so in our case, I will not use the standard because we need to also understand how to create a new groupings. So I will create all these 5 groups in our case, or in customer, I'll create these 4 groups. How to create that? So you just need to click on the new entry because you are creating a new group. You have to provide 4 digits code, up to 4. Okay, I'm not saying mandatory 4, up to 4. So if you want 3 digits, 2 digits, up to you. Okay, so in our case, this is which client? Okay, I will use what was the company code that we created? It was ABC, right? So ABC, I will create 4 groups: ABC1, ABC2, ABC3, and ABC4. So let's see ABC1. It should be unique. It should not be already created. So this is for what? This is a name that you have to provide. Okay. So ABC1 is, first of all, this is for ABC Limited. Okay, just to understand that this is our group that we created for ABC Limited, and this is for domestic customers, right? Now, out of these 4 groupings, only last one is one-time customer. All other 3 are regular customers. So for that reason, I will not tick on this indicator. This is only for one time. Okay. Even this one, we don't need to worry as of now. We will see if it is required later on. So keep it blank. So you just need to provide the account group. You need to provide name, whatever name you want, and then you have this field statuses. We just now understood what is field status. Okay, which field is mandatory, which field is optional. So whenever you will be creating a customer under this group ABC1, which fields you want to keep it optional, which fields, there are 4 statuses. Okay, so if I go to the general data, in general data you can enter the address information, you can enter the communication information. So let's go to the address information. So in the address you can see most of the things are optional, which means they will be visible. But if you want that, okay, I don't want this particular field to be displayed at all, I can click on suppressed. Or if I want that this field should be mandatory, region should be mandatory. If I don't enter the region, system should not allow to create a customer itself. I can even do that by clicking on or making some fields as required. And I can make some of the fields as display. Clear on this? Okay, so here also I can control based on the customer account group, I can control which fields are mandatory, which fields are optional. Right? So I'm keeping as it is, or maybe we will go with, let's go with this city as mandatory. Okay, this is required, which means if I don't enter the city, system will throw error. Let's click on save. So now my account group ABC1 has been created, which is for domestic customers. Now what I can do is I can simply copy this if I want to reduce the time. So I can just select this particular group and click on the copy button. Okay, and instead of ABC1, this would be ABC2, and here it would be foreign. So this is for the foreign customers. If you want to change some settings, you can come here. Let's go to the company code, account management. What I'll do is for this particular account group, I will make reconciliation account as a mandatory field. Okay, all other things are same. I will just maintain a reconciliation account as a mandatory field. Let's click on save. So this was number 2. Save it. Okay, and it is saved. So I can go to position. I created ABC1 and 2. So maybe I'll again copy ABC1. This time I'll create this ABC3, right? And this would be group company customers or group customers, right? In this way, I can create any number of groups which are required. The last one is ABC4. Okay, so this is for one time. Okay, and since this is one time, I have to tick on this indicator. All other things I'm keeping as same. Press enter and save. Okay, so this is how you have to create multiple groupings. How will you decide how many account groups to be created? This totally depends upon the customer's requirement. Okay, so when you are in which phase you will understand this in SAP methodology, in which phase you will come to know how many account groups to be created. How many phases are there in SAP methodology? We understood SAP methodology, right? How many phases are there in SAP methodology? Three phases. 5 phases. Okay, which are those 5? Initial preparation, which I told you, this is not related to consultant, mainly management. Second is business blueprinting. Okay, where you create a design document, what exactly needs to be done. Next one is realization, where you actually configure the system, actually create whatever you are written in the business blueprint. After the realization, you go for final preparation, where you perform the end user training, you do the UAT, and finally you go live. So now what do you think? In which phase you will identify how many customer account groups to be created?
Realization or business blueprint?
Realization is when you actually create. Realization is what?
Then blueprint.
Blueprint, right? So realization means what we have done now. We have created the groups. Okay, but we will create the groups only when we know how many groups to be created, and that has to be in the business blueprinting phase. Okay, so see, as of now, what I'm explaining you is SAP methodology. Okay, because I want you to be aware of ECC plus S4HANA, not only S4HANA, right? Because in S4HANA, instead of SAP methodology, there is a new methodology in place. But again, the concepts will remain same. So that is the reason I'm introducing SAP. Later on, we are also going to talk about a new methodology. Again, as I told you, there also you have the business blueprint. The name is changed. Definitely, before you do anything in the system, you need a firm document that this is what we need to do. This the requirement document, what you collected. Okay, so that part is done here in the business blueprinting phase. Okay, so based on what information you gathered from the customer, you will create the account groups here. Clear on this now? So this is how you can create the customer group. Now, if I go to transaction FD01, okay, although I'm getting another error, we'll talk about this, but at least now I can easily go to account group and I'll be able to see ABC1, ABC2, ABC3, and ABC4. Okay, so system will allow me to create a customer under ABC1, 2, 3, or 4. But the next question is, I already have the company code also. So company code is also not a problem for me. But what is the problem is, what would be the customer number? What would be the customer number whenever if I want separate numbers, if my customer is saying, looking at the number itself, Just give me a minute. Where is that? Yeah. Looking at the customers number itself, I should be able to know whether it is a domestic customer or it is a foreign customer or it is a group customer or it is a one-time customer. So what we can do is we can also set up the number ranges similar to GL account. In GL account also we have done starting with 1 are my assets account, starting with 2 are my liabilities, starting with 3 are my expenses. Same way, we can tell the system that domestic customers will start from 10001 to 20000. Sorry, maybe I will go with 1999. So which means all the customers which are starting from 1, those are domestic customers. Same way, all the customers starting from 2 are my foreign customers. All the customers starting from 3 are my group company customers. And all the customers starting from 4. Okay, again, who will tell you this? Who will tell you what are the numbers required? Customer. So this also needs to be documented in the business blueprint document, right? So how many account groups are you going to create? What would be the number ranges of that account group? All these things will be done during the business blueprinting. And once the business blueprinting has been created, we will configure the system according to these requirements, right? So once the account groups are created, account groups are already created now. What we need to do is we need to go to the number ranges, create the number ranges for customer accounts. Okay, so again, if you go here, there will be some number ranges which are already created. You can see number range 1, 2, 3, and those are already created. Okay, and you can now create your own number ranges. But again, you need to be clear with one thing. You cannot create a number range which is overlapping. Okay, so for example, if my customer is saying, I want the numbers from 10,000 to 19,000. So this 10,000 to 19,000, is it free? Is it available? See, 1 to 99,000 is already taken by numbering 01. This means these numbers are no more available with me. So what I need to do, either I need to delete this first line, then I create my own number ranges, or I have to take the number range which is not overlapping with this particular number range. Okay, let's try what will happen. So I will go with A1. Okay, this is for ABC1, and numbers I want is 10,000 to 19,999. If I press enter, see, you will get this message. Specify the interval without overlaps. Currently, the numbers are overlapping because this 19,000 is already part of this number range. So there are two options. Either I take another number which is not overlapping, or I delete the first one so that I can create my number ranges without this confusion with 01. Okay, so let's try. I will use the 01 and I will remove it. Deletion is only possible if the status is initial, which means you can see this is already being used. This number range is already being used. Okay, and definitely if you delete this number range, what will happen is other users who are working and who are used the number range 01, they will get an error. Okay, they will not be able to create a customer. So I'm just trying to explain you, don't try to anything which is already available. Better try to find out the number range which is in your criteria. Okay, so for example, instead of what we can do is
This number range is provided by SAP itself.
some of the number ranges are provided by SAP, but if you want to change it, you can come here and delete and you can create your own number ranges. See, there is a difference between the test system and the actual system. This is a test system. There are already many batches which were conducted on this system, right? So the users have already created their company codes, and that is the reason those are already live. Okay, they are already doing transactions there. But when you are going for the new implementation, there is no other user who has any company codes there, right? Whatever is there, you are doing it on your own, right? So there is no harm in deleting it in the fresh implementation project. But let's say you are going for the rollout. Rollout means what? Rollout means there are already some company codes which are there. You are company codes. In that case, before you do anything, you need to be very careful. Otherwise, Your new company code will work fine, but all the other company codes which are created, they will start throwing errors. And that is the reason this, during the business blueprinting document, the consultant has to be very careful. He has to finalize those number ranges which are not impacting the previously created number ranges. He has also, in case of rollout, your job is not only to look at the new system, you also have to look at what is already available in the system. Right? Based on that, you need to recommend to the customer what number ranges should be used. Okay, so just to avoid this, what I can do is, instead of creating my own number ranges, even I want you to also follow the same thing. It should not happen that you are creating thousands of number ranges here. Okay, this was just for the explanation purpose. What you can simply do is, you can assign number range 01 to ABC1 group, 02 to ABC2. Okay, and maybe one number range can be assigned to multiple account groups also. Otherwise, unnecessarily you will create multiple number ranges and we will not left with any numbers later on. Okay, so don't do that. Better is just use the existing number ranges and you can assign in the next one. Assign the number ranges to the customer account groups. So what you can do here is, you just come here, select your groupings that we created. So ABC1. So all four are not assigned to the number ranges. What we can simply do is, we can assign different number ranges here. So 01, 02, MM, VD, XX, these are the number ranges which are available. I can assign the same 01 to all, or I can assign 01, 02 to other different groupings. Okay, but one more thing to check here is, in this number ranges, just verify this column. What do you mean by this external? This is external assignment. Any idea what is external assignment?
We should give the number.
External assignment means, see, what will happen is, whenever you are trying to create a customer, okay, if I provide the account group, you want the system to automatically take the next number, or you are going to provide the number manually. Internal number means system will automatically take the next number, and external means you have to provide the number. So now, looking at this, I'll ask you two simple questions. Number one, when we created the accounting documents, at that time, the numbers were generated automatically. So that was an internal number range or external number range?
Internal number.
That was internal, because system was automatically generating the numbers. When we created the GL accounts, if I go to the GL account creation, here we are providing the number. System is not automatically taking the next number. So this is external or internal?
External.
This is in case of GL accounts, there is no internal number range. It is only external. Okay, in case of GL accounts, it is only external. But in case of customers and vendors, you have both the options. So you can tell the system whether you want to generate the number on your own. Sorry, system should generate on their own, on its own, or you are going to provide the number manually. So if you tick on external, you have to provide the number. If you
The
click on
journal
internal,
entries, sorry, Vikram, sorry, journal entries, would they be automatically internal?
no, automatically there is also option there. If you go for the journal entries also, there is the option whether you want to have the external number range or internal number range, same as customer and vendor.
Okay.
So if I take you to accounting entry, financial accounting, global settings, documents, document types, right? So we were using document type SA, right? For the general entry document, we were using document type SA. If I double click on SA, there is a number range assigned here.
Yes.
And just go to this number range information for your company code, which is in this case, I will use. I don't think ABC is available here. This is 800 line, right? Yeah, this is 800. So if I go for LENI, you have still not created the number ranges also, Chandrika. Okay, so there is a button here, external.
Okay.
Right, Nafis? This is the option here. So which means normally accounting documents are internal number range. We don't tick this normally. But still, if some cases, if you have a document type based on which you want to have the numbers to be taken by the user, you can always come here and tick this.
Yeah, like generally, like post like audit, there's always adjustments, and those journal numbers are generally not regular journal numbers. Those are audit adjustments or something.
Right.
And they're generally numbered differently, so that if you want to do a sorting quickly, those come up.
No, but
They don't.
for that you can always take a separate number range, but that also should be internal. So for example,
Oh, I
for the
see.
audit documents, you
Okay,
can
you
say
just do. Okay, audit would be a different range, so you can
yes.
classify it. Okay, okay, I get it.
Right. Okay, so most probably the number ranges are internal in case of accounting. There are some exceptions when it comes to the integration with MM and SD. Okay, that part I'll tell you later on. As of now, all AP, AR, GL, fixed asset, whatever transactions we do directly in accounting, all those number ranges are normally internal, which means system will automatically take the next number available. Okay, even for the customer, there is a choice whether you want this external number range or you want to have the internal number. So now in this case, I will use number range 01 and number range 02. So two groups I'll assign to 1, two groups I'll assign to 2.
So
Vikram,
just to reiterate, so the exception is for general ledger, right?
External is for general ledger, yes, because if I go to OBD4, which is account groups for GL, there is no option of external and internal. So these are always external. You have to provide the number. It will not generate automatically. But for GL documents, for customers, for vendors, you have option. It will automatically generate, or you want to specify manually, externally.
Vikram, I have a question. It may be silly. Why only internal number range they prefer? External is the better one, right?
No.
No, external means, see, the problem is, again, if let's say this GL account is always external, right? So every time if I want to create a new GL account, I need to go to the list and need to find out which number is available. So do you think that at the time of accounting document, the user will go in the document journal and he will find out which number is available? And there is a chance that some of the numbers you missed. Okay, but that is not allowed from the audit point of view. Auditors, they
Exactly.
want the numbers in a particular sequence. So you cannot delete a particular number from the number range. It has to be in sequence. Okay, so that is the reason normally internal number range is preferred for accounting documents. For customers, it is up to you. Customers, I don't think auditors will raise any questions if you are creating because you can also have the alphanumeric numbers for the customers. So that is not a problem. But when it comes to accounting documents, yes, it has to be internal.
Okay.
Okay, Chandrika?
Yes, Vikram.
Okay. So where were we? We created we need to assign the interval. So I'll come out of this, assign number ranges to customer account groups, right? So our account groups are A, B, C, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'll assign number range 01, 02, and then again 01, 02. I'm using the existing number ranges, right? And click on save. So now my system knows that whenever I'm using group ABC1, I want the numbers to be taken from number range 01. So whatever is the next number available. In our case, it was 10th is already taken, right? So the next number which system will take is 11th. Okay. So whenever I'll be creating a customer using this number range, the next time it will take the next number automatically because it is internal. Okay. Why this is disabled and these are enabled? Because this is already used and these are still not used. So there is a choice. Even if you want now, you can change it to external. But once one document is posted, once one customer is created within this number range, once this NR status has been changed, then you cannot come here and set up external. Clear? So now we are ready to create the customer master from the account group and number range point of view. So just to summarize, why do we need the account groups? What is the purpose of account groups?
Classification.
What is controlled in account groups? Number one,
Classification.
Provides a
classification.
number range.
Classification is fine. Classification is fine, but
It
what
provides
does
a
it?
number range.
Number range. It controls
Number
the number
range.
range. Number certificate,
Then it controls the field status.
right? One more thing, last thing is
Whether
whether
it's internal or external.
that is part of number range.
Okay.
Maybe you can add here whether it's internal or external. Last one is whether it is regular or one time. Okay,
Or
this
it
is
can
very
be a similar groupism of similar
sorry.
type. A groupism of, for example, now customer groupism of similar type of customers.
That is fine. That you are giving the definition of account groups, differentiation, categorization, grouping the different customers into the similar account. That is a definition. But what exactly it controls? It controls the number range, because whatever number will come, it will depend on the account group, whatever account group you select. Field status, what is mandatory, what is optional, that is totally dependent on which account group you are selecting. Okay, whether it is internal or external, it is not directly coming from account group, but through this number range. And finally, whether it is a regular or one time, because in the account group you are taking that indicator, whether it is a one time customer or it is a regular customer. Okay, this is a very important question which comes in exam many times. Okay, what they will provide you multiple options, what is controlled by the account group, so you have to select whatever is relevant. Any questions till now?
Yeah, Vikram, I have one question. Like, when we set up the number range, so it will be fixed, right? No need to again give a number range for the next year also.
No. Whatever number ranges you created, normally these are not year specific. In case of financial documents, the number ranges are year specific, right? But whatever number ranges we are providing here in case of customers and vendors, these are not year specific. You only need to provide the next number when your number range is expired. Okay, so for example, if you provided 10,000 numbers and that 10,000 is already over, there are already customers created. So you need to provide the next number range. But otherwise, yearly you don't need to change. Okay, and another thing, these account groups are created at the client level. I'm not creating the ABC one. Is it necessary that ABC 1, 2, 3, 4 I can use only in ABC? It is not,
No.
right? We are not specified company code anywhere. ABC 1, 2, 3, 4 can be used for any company code. That is the reason it is called as it is at the client level. So account groups are created at the client level. Can you tell me GL account groups are created at client level or what level? GL account groups.
Company code level.
Is it company
Entity,
or
legal entity level?
no?
Chart of account. Chart of
Chart
account.
level, right? So if I go to OBD4, see it is at the chart of account level. So whatever account group you created, these are for this chart of account. This is not for every company code. This is not for every chart of account. It is only for this particular chart of account. Right? Customer vendor account groups are created at the client level. GL accounts are created at chart of account. Okay. So now if I go and try to create a GL, sorry, try to create a customer. See, in ECC, maybe just give me a minute. I will connect to the ECC system to show you how exactly it works. Just give me a minute. Okay, can you see the screen now?
Yes, Vikram, we can see.
Okay. So this is a ECC system. In ECC, if I go to transaction FD01, okay, same transaction that we were using, it is opening this create customer screen. Okay, and you can see it is asking you want to create a customer in which account group. Okay, although it will not show our account group that we created because this is a separate system. So I will use one of the standard account group here. Let's go with this sold to party. Okay, now based on the number range of this account group is external or internal, either I need to provide this number or system will take automatically. Okay, let's say I'm again creating this in the standard company code, which is 0001. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm telling the system to use this account group, this company code. Just press enter. Okay, this is where you need to provide the address information to the customer of the customer. So let's say this is a company and my customer is XYZ Limited or whatever you want to enter. Now, based on why the system is showing me this field is mandatory, this tick means this field is mandatory. How system knows that this is mandatory, this is not mandatory? System knows because of where exactly. Yes, this tick mark means this field is required field. I cannot skip entering this field. This is a required field. Where in the system I can tell the system that this field is mandatory and this field is optional, this field is suppressed. In
field status.
In field status of what? Where should I go? Where should I go in this system to make this field optional? Field status gradient. PRO, account group, right? In account group, we can control the field status. This is not chart of account. This is customer account group. Right. So financial accounting, accounts receivables, and right here you have customer accounts, master data, preparation, and define account groups. Right. So which account group we are using? In this case, we are trying to create a customer with account group. We provided 0001 standard one, right? So for that, if I double click here and go to, this is the field status, general data. Within this, I'm in the address information. In address information, see, these fields are mandatory. Search term A. Okay, this is search term A. Search term 1, sorry. This is search term 1. Why it is mandatory? Because it is done mandatory from this configuration. Okay, so if I don't want this to be mandatory, what I can do is optional. Save it. Okay, now I can go to creation of customer, but I need to refresh it, right? Because I'm already in this screen, it will not make any changes. So I'll go to FD01 once again. Okay, I'm using account group 0001, company code 0001. Press enter. Company, whatever name I want to give. So this is XYZ Limited or something. Okay, and now you can see search term is no more mandatory field. So this is getting controlled from the account group. Whenever you are creating a customer, you are creating a vendor, which field is mandatory, which field is optional, that is getting determined by customer account group. Okay, number range as of now it is still not generated. That is the reason it is showing you internal, which means it will automatically get generated. Okay, so you can enter whatever information you want. You need to mandatorily enter the mandatory information. Okay, so for example, this is mandatory, so I have to enter something here. Okay, but otherwise, if I go to control data, here also some fields are mandatory. In address itself, there are other fields, city. So let's say Mumbai, country, IN. If I try to go to control data now, So there is another field which is mandatory here, transportation zone. So many fields someone has made it mandatory. Okay, I can easily go and I can make this field as optional. Okay, once you enter the mandatory field part, you can click on save. Okay, if you want to enter the company code related data, so as of now we just enter the normal data, general data. But if I go to company code data, for this company code, system is asking me reconciliation account is mandatory. Okay, I will show you what is reconciliation account. Trade receivables, this is a GL. Okay, and try to save it. We just want to worry about this number, what number it is getting generated. Okay, so this number will be generated automatically because it is an internal number range. Okay, so the time it gets generated, let me tell you, in customer, there are 3 segments. Very important question again from the exam point of view. There are 3 segments in the customer master. Number 1 is general segment. Number 2 is company code segment. And number 3 is sales area segment. What is the meaning of this? So whatever information you entered here, the customer has been created. So this is the number which was generated automatically, internal number range, right? So if you go to the customer master, so FD01 to create. If I want to change something, FD02. If I want to display, FD03. If I go for FD03, it will automatically show me the last created customer. If I press enter, it will show me all the information that I entered. So you can see this information is only relevant to this company code. Okay, so first thing what I need to do whenever I'm creating a customer, system is asking me name, system is asking me address information. Now let's say if this is my customer, let's say Reliance is my customer. So, and if I have 10 different legal entities, if I have 10 different company codes in my SAP system, if I created Reliance once, can I use it for all company codes, or I need to create separate customer for different company codes? Same party, Reliance. Do I need to create 10 different times for 10 different company codes, or one is sufficient? One is sufficient, right? One customer I can create which can be used in multiple company codes. Okay, but the problem is that this company code data must exist for that particular company code. Okay, so for example, now this customer I can only use in this company code. I cannot use in any other company code. So if I want to use the same customer for multiple company codes, what I need to do is I need to again create only the company code segment for this customer. Okay, I'll show you how. So if I go to FD01, let me copy this number. This number is already generated, right? If I go to FD01, what I need to do is I need to specify this customer number, but I have to tell the system that I don't want to create for company code 0001. It is already created for that company code. Instead, I want to get created it to some other company code, this one. Okay, and press enter. So it will only, again, it is asking me reconciliation account, but it is asking for this company code. Why it is not asking me address information? It is only last time when I created for company code 0001, it was asking me address also, name also. Now it is only asking this information because address information, name information will not change company code wise. That will remain same, right? Name of the customer, address will remain same. What will change is company code related settings. So that is the reason I told you general means name, address, which will remain same for all company codes and sales also, sales areas. Okay, whatever information I entered in the name, in the address field, that will remain same for all company codes, all sales areas. Company code segment means only relevant for that particular segment, that particular company code. So this customer, if I created only for company codes 0001 and 0003, no other company code can use this customer, right? And I can have different GL accounts for different company codes. I can have different here, head office, authorization. This can be different for each company code. I can have different settings. General data will remain same, but company code data may get changed company code wise based on the company code. Okay, same way. So for if I want to do any accounting transaction, I need to create this customer at the company code level. Okay, but this customer is also used in SD module, sales and distribution module, where they create a sales order, they do the delivery, they do the billing, and then once the billing is done, then only it comes through the accounts, right? So if the sales department want to use this customer, they have to create another area called as, another segment called as sales area. How to do that? So FD01 is a FI transaction. It will only allow you to create the customer in general data and company code data. But if you also want to use this customer in sales area, normally this is done by the SD module. So for that we use transaction XD01. In XD01, it will not only ask you company code, it is also asking you in which sales area you want to create this customer. Okay, we will talk about this in detail when we do the SDFI integration cycle. But as of now, just remember that there are 3 segments in the customer master. General segment, which remains same. Company code segment, which is different for company code wise. And sales area segment, which is specific to that particular sales area, which is used in the SD module. Clear? So this is very important question. As I told you, either customer or vendor, they will definitely ask this question. Okay, so if I want to create this customer for other company code, what should I do? FD01. Okay, I need to specify the company code, enter, and sorry, I have not specified my customer. So FD01, I have to specify the customer here, right? Press enter, then it will not ask any name and address information because that is already stored in the general level. Right, what I need is reconciliation account for this particular company, which can be same or which can be different. There is no reconciliation account created. Anyways, so if I provide the reconciliation account and save, then this customer can be used in 2 different company codes, 0001 and 0003. Okay, so this is how we were creating the customers in SAP ECC. We were using transaction FD01 and XD01. Okay, but now in S4HANA, there is a change, and that is the reason when you are going to transaction, let me go to S4HANA. This is S4HANA system. So here, if I go to transaction FD01, I am getting this error. Okay, it is not allowing, it is not asking me, it is not allowing to enter anything. It is telling me that the transaction FD01 is obsolete. Obsolete means you cannot use this transaction anymore. So if you want to create a customer and vendor, you need to go to transaction BP. System is automatically taking you to transaction business partner. Okay, there is a new concept in place in S4HANA, which is called as business partner. So earlier we were able to create customers, vendors independently without business partner. In S4HANA, if you want to create a customer and vendor, it has to be created as business partner. There is no other option. Okay, but if you want to understand this well, whatever we have discussed today, you complete that part. Okay, so even if you complete the accounting postings later on, that is fine. If you want to make the full utilization of tomorrow's session, you have to complete whatever we have done today. Okay, if you don't have company code created, no worry, you can use any of the company code which is already in the system. Okay, and try to do this. Okay, not completely, because you only have S4HANA system, you don't have ECC system. So you'll not be able to create a customer, but at least create the account groups, okay, assign the number ranges and understand the concept. Maybe 1 or 2 times go through the recordings of this session and understand how the customers were created in SAP ECC. Then only you'll be able to correlate what is changed in S4HANA. Okay, both are important because it is not necessary after this training you will be placed directly on S4HANA project. You may need to work on ECC. So now you already know how to create a customer in ECC, but in S4HANA there is a difference. So that part we will cover tomorrow. Fine. Any questions? Any questions related to the topics that we discussed today?
Vikram,
Yes.
hello. Yeah, there are some cases the vendor is also our customer, right? Then
Yes.
do we need to create different account groups for them or what?
Account groups, yes, definitely. You need to create 2 different account groups. Even you need to create a customer separately, vendor separately. And then you need to assign vendor to customer and customer to vendor. So first thing is you have to create a customer separately, vendor separately, and then you need to assign it to each other.
Okay.
Vikram, this is Asha. Today we missed, me and Nafis, we missed the first half an hour of the webinar. How quickly we can
Voice is not very clear. There is a lot of background noise. Or just keep your mic in a little bit closer to you.
Hello? Sorry, I didn't get you.
Okay, let's go ahead.
Hello, Vikram. When
Yes,
do we
yes.
get recordings today?
Recordings, I will share maybe in another 4 to 5 hours. It takes time.
Vikram, I
Yes.
know. Vikram, both of us are lagging quite behind. Like we
No, Nafis,
started from the 5th class. What do we do? Suggest.
Nafis, can you do one thing? Can you immediately call Krishna after this session and ask him to take me on the call?
Please, we'll do that.
Yeah. Please do that. We will discuss what is pending.
Sure.
Yeah, because from my side, I already submitted everything. Each and every student got, but just maybe Krishna needs to coordinate properly. Okay.
Fair enough.
The problem we are getting actually to absorb all these 8 classes and coordinating all the information together. So when we will try to do the homeworks you ask us to do. Problem is like we have to go for all these videos at least twice.
Mm-hmm. Let's talk on the call with Krishna.
Okay. Can we have a 4-way call so that Ashraf is
Yes,
also there?
yes. Immediately after this session, you can just ask Krishna to arrange the call.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Anything related to the topics today before we close? Okay, if not, let's close this session and see you tomorrow. Tomorrow class will be again on the same time as today. Same link, no need to wait for any link. Same link we will be using for next 3 to 4 weeks. So don't wait for my mail that I'll send the link. Same link you can join for next 4 to 5 weeks. Okay. If I provide you the new link, then only you need to go for the new link. If I have not provided, that means it is the same link. So tomorrow it will be same time, but I need to check with others. I think some of you are not comfortable with these times because in US it is too late, but we will discuss that and we will schedule accordingly from the next week onwards.
Another thing, Vikram, who provide the links, you or
I provide to Krishna and Krishna provides the links.
all right, this time we didn't get the link, so yeah.
Yes. Okay, thank you all. Bye.
Thank you, Vikram.
Thank you. We'll be
Thank you,
calling
Vikram.
Krishna
Bye.
now.
Yes, immediately.
Thank you, sir.